RAUSCH Games!
Hello guys, and welcome back to RAUSCH Games here on YouTube. More importantly, welcome back to my WWE 2K14 Universe mode. We are moving right along in the early part of the month of June here, and as you know, we're in the middle of that King of Trios tournament, still in the first round there, but I'm coming to you with kind of a special presentation tonight, because if we head out to the calendar here, you see it's Wednesday, and we never used to have a show on Wednesday. I've referenced this before, but this is pretty much my IWC minor show, dark show if you will, where I just have a 5-match card where I simulate all the matches so that, out of context here, these guys can either gain or lose momentum and have a greater shot at getting an NXT tryout without any real story coming into play. I don't put this on camera. I know a lot of you guys with your created wrestlers in this universe would like to see them, but I don't play these matches, usually. But in another episode of this that I've recorded recently that you have seen by now, I mentioned that for the duration of this King of Trios tournament, which you can see on the calendar here, is next Sunday, 2 weeks, and we are there. On each of these Wednesday days, where I only usually would simulate, I'm going to change one of the matches to a King of Trios tournament match, and I will play that one match. So, going back to this match card, this first Wednesday in the month of June, I like all of these matches for that building of momentum, except for this match number 2, and I'm going to make an executive decision and say that no, Kodama and Obarion of the Batiri are not going to fight each other with momentum on the line. That is stupid, that is trash. This is the one I'm going to change over, and I'm going to turn into the Trios match that we will indeed play. And tonight's Trios match is going to see the teams of... Who do we have tonight? We've got Team CoBro, Zack Ryder and Santino Marella with the random edition of David Otunga taking on the Spectral Envoy, Ultramanus Black, Frightmare, and Hollow Wicked. That's going to be a fun one. And we're going to get right to that after we just simulate through these, and I'll show you guys the winners since we're here, but usually I would not do this. So the first match of the night, triple threat between Ethan Carter III, Big Baby Bradley, who's Team NLG, we saw lose to the Rhodes family and Randy Orton on Raw, and Dasher Hatfield, whose throwbacks unfortunately lost in their trios match as well due to Tim Donst being a jerk. Here is the simulation guys coming in, and Ethan Carter gets the win over the other two there. He's going to move up a bit with that momentum. Moving down the card, this is a match, I mean, you know, maybe not today, but Kurt Angle a few years ago, I would love to see him take on Eddie Kingston. We're just going to simulate this real quick. Kingston, as we know, actually both of these men are still technically involved in the King of Trios tournament as they both won their play-in matches to join the field of 32 or 30 or however many people, I don't even remember at this point. but each of their teams, Eddie Kingston with Bullet Club and Kurt Angle with Team IWC, they won their way into the tournament, and they're still awaiting their first round match. Simulation coming in. Oh, and it's my boy Eddie Kingston. Awesome. I like that. I want him to go far in this universe mode. I would love to see him get up to NXT. Down here, this is just a fun one. Archibald Peck taking on Mike Quackenbush. Can't really complain about that matchup at all. We're just going to simulate it really quickly as neither of them is actually in the King of Trios, so there's not much to talk about. And Archie gets the win. Marchy Archie. And in the evening's main event, you've got Cobalt of the Batiri taking on CM Puma, who I did indeed add to my universe mode after I used him for my WWE Games King in the Ring video where I beat his ass. Let's see if he can get some revenge on me and my universe mode concepts overall. And he can! He beats the Goblin Kobold. Awesome. So we're going to come right back. We're going to get into this match, and it's going to be the one thing that we play in this episode. And then afterward, as the calendar dictates, I'll give you the card for Superstars and tell you guys what you're voting on this week. BRB. Imagine my surprise, ladies and gentlemen, when El Guapo Diablo not only showed up in the arena tonight, but came out with quote-unquote Team CoBro. This is unbelievable, all of the things that have folded together before our eyes. Last week on IWC, on the main show, not this minor show, we brought you leaked security footage from NXT last week, where it appeared as though men from within this La Revolucion group on NXT, there's a great inverted DDT from El Guapo Diablo and Ultraman is Black. They had convinced David Otunga that something was for the greater good, but that's something we didn't quite know about. It is apparently that they convinced David Otunga to let them kick him out of the King of Trios tournament as the third member of Team CoBro, allowing El Guapo Diablo to come in. They were just introduced as La Revolucion, and if you notice, Zack Ryder is wearing the group's colors. Zack Ryder, the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, is wearing the colors of La Revolucion. Let the rumors be put to rest. He appears to be fully involved with this group that attempted to help him win the title at Over the Limit just a week ago on Sunday, and now La Revolucion is a team here in the King of Trios tournament, and I have to give it to them, their craftiness here in basically announcing it to the world at a neutral site where General Manager Stephanie McMahon can do nothing about it. Now La Revolucion taking the place of Team CoBro. They enter this tournament as the 12th overall seed, and they are taking on the Spectral Envoy of the IWC, the home team here tonight. They are ranked 21st overall, and frankly, they could be favored to win this tournament as they are the last trio to win the King of Trios. When it was just a Chikara tournament, they won it back in, oh god, what year was that? 2012, right? 2013? I don't remember when Chikara shut down. But either way, they were the last ones to take home the medals before the rights to the tournament were bought after Chikara fell apart, and they were purchased as a combination between the shadowy general manager of the IWC and Vince McMahon. There's a tag in to that #1 contender to the NXT title, Zack Ryder. Woo, 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 you know it. He's taking on Frightmare here. The Spectral Envoy are comprised of their leader, Ultraman is Black, Frightmare, who is currently in the ring, and Hallowicked with the candle on top of his mask. They have been known throughout the years in Chikara and overall indie wrestling as a very dark trio. On again, off again friends, usually hypnotized or some other fashion by Ultraman is Black. And Ultraman is Black certainly has to be the voice of reason, as neither Hallowicked nor Frightmare speaks all that well. There's Zack Ryder running at Frightmare. Big swinging neck breaker from Zack Ryder. Santino and El Guapo Diablo on the ropes. I still can't believe it. We should have seen it coming when El Guapo Diablo showed up at this IWC arena tonight arranging for a ride. You gotta wonder if maybe it was Justin Gabriel offering him the ride. But this is a major reveal here as Zack Ryder has basically fallen completely in with La Revolucion, giving up possibly his title shot if Stephanie McMahon deems it so. But he just challenged for that title shot last night on NXT, and it appeared as though The Miz was all in on it. Again, no word from any NXT officials, Stephanie McMahon included, as to whether or not that rematch for the title has been booked for the NXT No Way Out pay-per-view later this month, the week after our King of Trios pay-per-view. There's a big flapjack from Zack Ryder to Hallowicked, and Hallowicked gets up hurting, and there's Zack Ryder from behind, lifts him up, and that's a nice inverted suplex from Zack Ryder to Hallowicked, and now Zack's got him up. And there's a big back elbow to the face from Hallowicked. And that's Hallowicked with a sit-out spinebuster to Zack Ryder. And Ryder has been killed. And the entire Spectral Envoy is in the ring. But Santino is actually holding the legal man back from the pin. And there's Ultramanus off the ropes with a huge senton. And Zack Ryder kicks up. Zack Ryder taking advantage of the distraction put forth by his entire team. And there's another big flapjack to Hallowicked from Zack Ryder. And now Wicked being picked up by Ryder here, and Zack Ryder sending him over into the corner. And Ryder now going to throw him across, but Wicked reverses. And now Zack Ryder up top. Misses the drop kick to Hallowicked. Looked like he was going for a comeback maneuver there. And Hallowicked is sizing Zack Ryder up here, waiting for him to get to his feet. But now runs at him and misses the maneuver, and another flapjack from Zack Ryder. And Ultramanus Black is back in the ring, and Zack Ryder runs at him for another float-over swinging neckbreaker. And now Hallowicked swinging the arm around. There's a nice arm drag from Wicked right there. And once again trying to call Zack Ryder to his feet. Zack Ryder trying to fight the call. And there's a big boot. The step-up boot from Hallowicked to Zack Ryder, and Ryder is dead in the ring. 1, 2, 3. That's the match. The Spectral Envoy gets the first upset of our King of Trios tournament in a spectacularly short match. La Revolucion wanted to come here and make some kind of point, get some kind of message across, and I guess in inducting Zack Ryder into their ranks, they did just that. But the Spectral Envoy, the reigning King of Trios champions, they put it together as a team, and they function better than the ragtag Revolucion. This was a nice night here in this minor indie programming. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and leave a like on it. If you're new here, consider subscribing and get this great content in your inbox every time it comes up. Give me just a few more moments, and I'll be right back with your Superstars card to vote on this week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back very quickly. What a match that was, huh? And I did not think the Spectral Envoy had it in them to take apart La Revolucion like that. La Revolucion, one of the hottest factions in the WWE universe right now. But it goes to show, you know, it doesn't always translate to a tournament like this. I have no doubt that they're still going to make an impact on NXT, and I'm sure that their whole political strife is not anywhere near over yet. But either way, the Spectral Envoy move one step closer to defending, essentially, the fact that they are the reigning King of Trios champions. So, moving ahead, as we did on IWC last week with our play-in matches, we've got 5 matches here on Superstars. You are going to vote for the one of these matches that you want to see, and then I'm going to pick from the remainder, eliminate 2 that I think aren't all that great, and put in their place our next 2 King of Trios matches. And just so you know, our next matches are going to be the number 4 seed 3MB, Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, Drew McIntyre, managed by Paul Heyman, and you know all the strife and the infighting that's been going on in that group of guys, and they will be taking on Team Bullet Club. We saw them win their way into this tournament over the Pieces of Hate last week on IWC's main show. They're represented by Machine Gun Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, and Eddie Kingston, who beat Kurt Angle on the IWC minor show earlier tonight. And then your other match, you're going to have the NXT Tag Team Champions, Team Tons of Funk, and they're going to be taking on, sorry about that, Team IWC. Team IWC, of course, represented by the Great Metsuda, Kurt Angle, and Carpenter Ant, and they won in a big way last time. Great Metsuda really making a name for himself, and if my ears are put on correctly, he has been talked about as a contender for Sweeney Antoine's IWC Championship. Dan Hand is going to be pretty happy about that one. And just so you're aware, Tons of Funk represented by the NXT Tag Team Champions Brodus Clay and Tensai, as well as recent WWE Exile and NXT roster addition, Rick the Nature Boy Flair. Woo! That's going to be awesome. Right, moving into these 5 matches, though, before we, put all of our eggs in the King of Trios basket here, your first option, you're going to have Big E Langston taking on the former United States champion, Dean Ambrose. We haven't seen him at all since Over the Limit went off the air. He has been investigated by several different types of WWE official in the disappearance of Miss Elizabeth, and he is being kept protected from the Macho Man Randy Savage after what happened after Over the Limit went off the air. There's much speculation as to what exactly happened to Miss Elizabeth, but considering that Macho Man beat Dean Ambrose for his United States Championship at Over the Limit. It has been surmised that these are the head games that Dean Ambrose was talking about in his several promos leading up to that pay-per-view. We'll have more on it, of course, as it develops. The second match to choose from, a Divas match between Brie Bella and the recently former Divas champion AJ Lee, who lost to Natalya at Over the Limit. Can she kind of kick someone around a little bit and take some rage out, or is Brie Bella just going to further the fall from grace that AJ Lee seems to be suffering at this point? Your third match, the current United States champion, Macho Man Randy Savage, taking on Jack Swagger in a one fall, and Macho Man, I mean, has gone completely silent on all forms of social media since the disappearance of Miss Elizabeth. He has nothing to say, but this will be his first step back into a ring since Over the Limit went off the air, since he won the United States Championship, and I'm interested to see if his in-ring style is affected, if he's even going to bother to show up, or if he's still going to be out there looking for the love of his life. Match number 4, we're just going to skip over saying who's in this match. If you vote for it, I kill you. Match number 5, main event triple threat between Ryback, Kane, and JBL, who had a great win over the recently former WWE champion Dolph Ziggler this past Monday night on Raw. Very convincing win over the former champion. These three will have a triple threat to determine some card ranking, and yes, Ryback is still considered the superstar of Superstars HD, thanks to Will Seffick. There is a crowd sign that might come up during this match, just in case you want to see it. So again, you're going to pick one of these 5 matches. You have Big E Langston versus Dean Ambrose, 1 fall. Brie Bella versus AJ Lee, 1 fall. Macho Man versus Jack Swagger, 1 fall. Ryback versus Kane versus JBL, triple threat. Pick any one of those 5 matches. I'm going to eliminate 2 of the other ones, and you're going to get 3 matches on Superstars this week. 2 King of Trios, and 1 of whatever you pick. And of course, as usual, all the good stories and videos and all the good stuff. So now, at this point in the video, of course, like, subscribe, love me, I love you back. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.